Welcome back to the mat. I'm Lauren and we'll spend the next 10 minutes together focusing on our feet. Our feet work really hard every day, taking us wherever we want to go. It's time to give back and give our feet the love and gratitude they deserve. Beginning today's class in a kneeling position. We won't be here for long, but you may like to use a prop to bring some height under your sit bones. Your hands can just rest in your lap. Once you're nice and comfy, closing down the eyes and connecting to the breath. Starting to think about all the wonderful places your feet have taken you to. And dedicating today's practice to your feet. On your next inhale, slowly blinking the eyes open. Coming forward, bringing the hands to the ground in front of you, finding tabletop. Making sure that our wrists are underneath our shoulders and the knees are stacked underneath the hips. Pick up the left foot and extend your heel back to the back of the room. As you exhale, bending the knee, bringing the ball of the left foot beside the right shin, pushing into the hands and rounding the spine, coming into crouching kitten. You'll feel a wonderful stretch through your calf, the back of your ankle, and the sole of your foot. Inhale, extending that left leg back, and exhale, coming back to tabletop. Moving to the right side, the right foot extends behind you. And exhale, finding your crouching kitten. Inhale, right leg reaches. And exhale, finding tabletop. Coming into my least favorite asana. Tuck the toes of both feet, making sure that all 10 toes are tucked. And then come to sit back on your heels. This is super intense, so the more you lean back, the stronger the stretch is going to be. You can always bring your weight forward or maybe even have your fingertips on the ground. Just finding a level of discomfort that's manageable for you and breathing into it. This stretch is a wonderful way to undo some of the damage that's caused by wearing shoes as often as we do. You might feel this extra strongly if you've been wearing high heels your whole life. One more breath here. And exhale, coming back into tabletop. You might like to tap the top of the feet on the floor. Moving through a few quick cat-cows. Inhale, reaching the chest forward, arching through the spine, tailbone pointing to the sky. As you exhale, tucking the tailbone, pressing into the hands and rounding through the spine. Inhale, finding cow. And exhale into cat. Inhale, chest forward. And exhale, back of the heart reaching to the sky. Inhale as you find a neutral spine. tucking the toes, lifting the knees, and coming up into a very gentle downward dog, keeping your knees deeply bent. Start to pedal out the feet, lifting one heel to the sky, then the other. On your next inhale, begin to walk your feet very slowly to the front of your mat. Finding a gentle forward fold, keeping the knees nice and bent. And begin to roll up through the spine nice and slowly, moving through each vertebra. Your head is the last to arrive. Finding Tadasana or mountain pose. Feeling your feet supporting you here and connecting you to the earth. You may like to lift the toes, spread them nice and wide and bring them back down to the mat. Slightly lifting through your arches and suctioning your feet onto the mat. Feeling steady and stable here. Begin to play with the weight distribution through your feet, gently swaying from side to side. And the next time you bring your weight to the left side, keep the weight there and lifting your right foot slightly off the ground. Moving your ankles in circles, one direction, then the other, pointing and flexing that foot, giving it a really good shake out. Thinking about tree pose, your toes could either come to the floor, perhaps your calf, or maybe even your thigh, just making sure that you're not pressing on the knee joint. Hands in a position that helps you stay balanced here. Knowing that it's okay if you wobble and shake. That shakiness comes from all the different muscles in that standing leg working together to keep you balanced. Of course, our balance tends to come and go. With control, bring that right foot back onto the mat. Taking a moment here to feel connected to the earth. And slowly shift your weight into the right leg. Lifting that left foot off the ground. Circling through that ankle joint in one direction, then the other. Pointing and flexing the foot a few times. And giving the foot a nice shake out. Coming into tree pose, the foot finds the floor, the calf or the thigh. It may help if you find a little spot on the wall in front of you and keep your gaze fixed there, paying attention to any little wobbles you might feel. Our balance is often steadier in the morning when we first wake up, before the winds of life have the chance to blow us around during the day. Staying here for one more deep breath. Then placing the left foot back to the floor, coming onto the balls of both feet, gently bending the knees and with control, lowering yourself down into a squat. Keeping the heels off the floor. And then coming forward into a quick tabletop. Pushing back into extended child's pose. Allowing the feet to rest here on the floor. Connecting back to the breath. I encourage you to round off today's practice by finding a wall nearby and coming into legs up the wall pose. You may like to have a bolster or a pillow underneath your hips. And once you've turned upside down, just letting your feet feel nice and relaxed here. This pose is my favorite after a long day spent on my feet. It helps to boost circulation and in turn, reduce any swelling. It's perfect for relieving tired and achy feet. I encourage you to stay here for as long as you like, perhaps 1 minute, 5 or even 10, coming down when you're ready. If you enjoyed this sequence, I'd like to invite you to join me in the warm wrist class. Thank you for joining me on the mat. Namaste.